Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going to be working on this cart interaction here. I want to do a couple of things. First, I want to add something to the cart. I want to show you how you can delete it, and I want to show you how you can check out. So let's jump right in. So I'm going to start by creating a new flow, and I'm just going to rename this flow to number 2, and we'll just call it cart flow. Or we can call it checkout and cart. So you can actually, you know what, let's just go and do cart first, and then we'll do checkout, because now with like the amount of flows that you can have, like you don't need to worry too much about, you know, trying to keep everything together in terms of like keeping like one flow versus like 3. So I am just going to use this. So we are going to say, I'm going to click on this, and that is going to, you know, bring in a new screen. Or I think maybe it comes in like that. So let's press play and see what that looks like, because that will be pretty cool to just have it slide in from the bottom. So while we wait for that to load, and so we'll have this option here. What I want to do now is I want to add it to cart. So we're going to do a little micro interaction here. So I'm going to add it to cart, and then I'm just going to select Smart Animate, because what's going to happen is I want this little number over here to change to 2. So we'll see that change, and that's going to be like a bouncy. So we can see. So once that changes, and then we are going to trigger automatically something like this, like an after delay of like 300 milliseconds. We are going to open that overlay coming from that bottom. So we'll move it in. Oops, let's select that. Boom. So no bouncy. We're just going to make sure it's nice and gentle. Okay, let's get this prototype playing. So what we're really aiming for here is we really want this nice little cart animation to come in from the bottom, and like we'll be able to maybe swipe some of this content away and, you know, complete that delete animation as well. So a couple little things that we can work on with that. The other thing is I want to see how that micro interaction plays out when you add something to your cart, because I think there's a lot of potential there to have something pretty interesting. And, you know, I think the other step here is if I just copy this over, you know, we can set that to delete. We're going to worry about that flow in a second. And then once we delete it, like that, we're just going to rename these delete card. So after we delete that, so we're going to do a drag on here. We'll just smart animate it. And when we click delete, we'll go to there. And then we will just have the cart at $79.99. So another thing is I don't want the text to be jumbling all over the place. So I'm just going to, that's width 28. I'm going to just set the fixed width on that. Let's see how much it is. This one is 238. Okay. This one's going to be 238 as well. Oh, okay. So it's 249. We'll just have to deal with the padding here. Or we can, you know, we can just detach the whole instance. 238, and now we can just have it spaced out. So that way we don't have the button going back and forth, back and forth. And I think that'll be it for that flow. So what we're gonna do is we're going to move on to the next one in the next video, and we're gonna see how those prototypes play out. And we will finally get to this kind of order confirmation modal. So, I mean, we can get a GIF for this, but I mean, we can also just use it as like a static, like a confetti. Right now, it's one of those things where unless you find like a nice transparent GIF online, it's really going to be hard for you to actually animate this piece by piece, because you're going to have to have so many screens showing confetti flying. So we'll see what we can do, and there are some plugins that we can try.